Homeschooling isn't always picture perfect. Welcome to Homeschooling with Dr. B, where we'll help you find solutions to the challenges you face and celebrate your successes with you. Now, please welcome your host, Dr. B.
Welcome, my tenacious homeschool tribe, to our introductory episode of Homeschooling with Dr. B. And just who is Dr. B? Well, that'd be me. I'm a retired college professor who's been homeschooling her kiddos for the last 5 years. Boy, let me tell you, when I started, I thought it was only going to be a 3-year, really 2-year journey. I was thinking I was going to homeschool 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and I was going to be done. But guess what? Then it turned into 6th, 5th, and 8th. And the girls don't want to go back to traditional school. So we'll see what happens next year. But I was thinking back about when I started. I was so terrified. Terrified of messing up my kids academically. Terrified of not being able to handle one of my child's ADHD. Just nervous about the whole process. Completely unprepared. If you listen to episode 3, you'll find out how it was that we decided to homeschool one day and we're homeschooling the next. And so completely unprepared, lost. I didn't know anybody that was homeschooling at the time. Of course, today I know literally hundreds of homeschool families because Facebook and Meetup makes it so easy to meet new people on this homeschool journey. And of course, part of the reason why I decided to do this podcast is because I wanted to pay it forward. I met some really neat ladies that really helped me get started and encouraged me when I was down, gave me tips, introduced me to materials and different options that I just would not have been aware of had it not been for them. I learned a lot of lessons along the way. Not to overbuy curriculum, what curriculum to buy. Not that there's a perfect curriculum, but how to find out what the best curriculum is for your kid or your family. How to modify curriculum that you enjoy, but maybe is not perfect for your family the way that it comes out of the can. So many different tips and advice, and I really want to pass it on. Especially when you get started. We all kind of weeble and wobble, to be honest with you, or at least the majority of us. And one of the things that I find when I go to conferences is that a lot of times newbies will ask, how do I get started? And all pros tend to say things like, you're going to feel your way through this. It'll come to you as you go. But for people like me, that just makes me more nervous. It stresses me out more. I need a little bit more guidance. So I'm going to attempt to provide that for those who need it. And those who don't, listen to the tips, see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, discard it. Okay? Because ultimately, homeschool journey is about individualizing the educational process for your family, for your kids. Another big thing that people want to know when you first start homeschooling is, what's my style? What's my homeschool style? It doesn't matter. That is the thing that you should worry the least about. Figure out what works for your family. Style develops over time and it changes over time. My daughter coined my homeschooling style college chic. She says that I treat my kids like I treated my college students. I expect them to be involved, dynamic learners, and I make them responsible for their learning process. But everything else, it's a little bit of everything. My style, I think I would say it's eclectic. I was really concerned that I knew how to teach adults, but I certainly had no idea how to teach children. And I didn't realize it was going to be completely different. And there's some things from my years as a college professor that I've incorporated into my homeschool teaching experience. But there's a lot of things I've discarded. And there's things that have worked in the beginning that didn't continue to work. So pitch, bring something new. I picked up a lot from other homeschooling moms, from conferences, from many different areas. So I'm a mishmash of different styles. If you want to give it a name, I would say my home style is eclectic. A little bit of everything, a little bit from everybody. Whatever works for our family. So, the podcast. Every week I will drop a new episode on Mondays. There will be a story that's part of our journey with tips to help you in your own homeschool journey. And I'll do my best to throw as many freebies as I can. If you visit our website, there will be worksheets, pressies, lectures, things that you might find helpful. There's tons of material out there that you can find and use. I will also evaluate programs, let you know stuff that we've used, what we have chosen, why we have chosen it, and things that we have decided not to use because it just didn't work for our family. But I will give you the rundown of those things so that you can make an informed decision for your family. Don't ever be shy. That is the best way to homeschool. Take what works for your family, leave what doesn't work for your family. Homeschooling is a very individualized journey. The outcome is completely up to your level of commitment, dedication, and willingness to explore new and exciting things. So you will find many resources on our site. Use what works for you. And as I was saying in the beginning, I was afraid. Now I realize that really what I was afraid was of the unknown. So you will also find lots of encouragement and support throughout this podcast. Occasionally, I will have interviews with other homeschooling moms or with people who have created an industry around homeschooling and have products and services you might find useful. And certainly, I will let you know of the products and services that we use as a family that have worked well for us. So, if you're just embarking on your homeschool journey or you're an old pro, I hope you will join us in our sometimes crazy, always fun homeschool family by subscribing to our podcast or blog, or both. For links and resources, please visit our website. Till next time, enjoy your kiddos.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Homeschooling with Dr. B. Head over to homeschoolingwithdrb.com for more information and resources. That's homeschoolingwithdrb.com. Until next time.